Welcome to our video on the frequently asked questions and day in the life of an NTI student. My name is Daina. I graduated from the Nutrition Therapist Master Program in 2021, and I'm a practicing nutrition therapist.
And my name is Amber. I graduated from the nutrition therapy program in 2018 and very recently graduated from the natural food chef program in the fall of 2023. When I was a student in the nutrition therapy program, I did the hybrid approach through the entire program. I started as an online student and about 3 courses in, actually moved to Denver, Colorado so I could take advantage of the classroom courses NTI has to offer. And then just depending on what my work schedule was like for the term I was enrolling for was how I determined how I could take courses. So if my work schedule allowed for me to be in the classroom, then that's what I enrolled for. And if it didn't, then I went for an online course and did the hybrid approach through the remainder of the program.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And I love that we offer all those 3 different formats. So even though we have classroom, which is great, you're in the classroom in Denver, Colorado, once a week for 3 hours, we also have 2 options for online. So there's online group start and online independent start. Online group start, you start with our terms, and we have 4 different terms. So there's winter, spring, summer, and fall. So you get to choose when you want to start. And as a group start student, you get access to weekly webinars, which is really cool. So if, for example, you can't move to Denver, but you really want that in-classroom experience, the online group webinars are a really great opportunity for that. On the other hand, if you want more flexibility with your start date, so you don't have to start with the terms, we have independent start online. So with that one, you get to choose your start date. So any Monday of the year, whether that's in 2 weeks, 2 months, whenever you want to start, you can start a course. And the great thing there is that there's nothing to attend live. So there's no weekly webinars. So for people who are more of a lone wolf in their learning format and they don't want to have to attend live, that's a really good option.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is more so kind of determining what your schedule is like with the courses because there's no times you have to sit in on the webinar. So while you do have due dates for the course, you do have availability to work quicker in the 10-week time frame than the start to end date allows in the independent start option.
Totally. Yeah. So a lot of people who, for example, have kids at home or they work full time and they just don't know what their schedule is going to be like and they can't commit to, for example, 6 p.m. on Wednesday for that 10-week course, the independent start option is really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Dinah, how long did it take you to get through the program?
It took me just around 2 years. So I was working full time while taking the program as a student. So I would typically do my work on weekends or after work in the evenings. And it was definitely possible for me to take 2 courses. That's actually a question we get a lot. How many courses can I take at once? So I was able to take 2 courses most of the time, took a little bit of a break to go traveling. So overall, it took me about 2 years to finish. And people ask, how long does it take to finish the program? It's anywhere from 1 to 3 years. So most oftentimes we see around 2 years as the mark that it takes people to finish. So if you're taking 2 courses at a time, it'll be about 1.5 years. If you're taking more than 2 courses, it'll be closer to a year. If you're taking just 1 course at a time, it's closer to 3 years. So the beauty of the program that it's super flexible. And if one part of your life is really busy and you can only commit to 1 course, that's totally fine. And then when you have a little bit more time, you can take 2 or even 3 courses.
Yep, absolutely. And it's that flexibility that allows school to really fit into your life and not the other way around. So our students find that that is very valuable while they're learning all the science-based information through the nutrition therapy program.
Yeah. And I love that also the way the courses work, other than that 1-hour webinar, if you're a group online student or if you're in the classroom for 3 hours, everything's super flexible. So you watch videos on your own time, you work on the exams on your own time. So whenever you feel most productive, whether that's early mornings or late at night, you get to work on the material. So that's just really good to know that it's so flexible for any type of schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other great thing is that you're not locked into only one learning format as you're going through the program. I mentioned I did the hybrid approach as I went through the program, but you can even do that with the courses that you're enrolled in at the same time. So if you are taking 2 courses at once, you can take 1 as an online student, group start or independent, and you can take 1 in the classroom if you wanted to mix and work your way through that way as well.
Yeah. Let's talk about time commitment per course. So when people ask how much time should I think about dedicating for a course per week, I like to say anywhere between like 3 to 10 hours, depending on where you are in that 10-week course period. So a lighter week would be watching some videos, maybe there's a little bit of reading, you do a quiz. So that would be about 3 hours per course per week. On the other hand, if there's an exam due that week, and our exams are open note, open book, so they're not stressful, they're not timed, they're short essay questions. So you take as much time as you need, work on it when you feel like it, when you have a moment. And that could be a longer process, just depending on what your learning style is. So that could be a week where you spend, for example, 10 hours on coursework because of that exam. So just keeping that in mind, if you're taking one course, 3 to 10 hours, if you're taking two courses, that'll double. So it'll be a little heavier of a workload, but definitely manageable, especially because you can break it up like every day for a couple hours or something like that.
Right, absolutely. And I think we should maybe talk about why exams typically take a little bit longer. Our exams are open book, as Dinah mentioned, but they are critical thinking, case study type questions. So not necessarily are you going to go back to the book and find the exact answer to write on your exam. It's really there and formatted that way so that you can put the information that you're learning into practice. So often they're multiple part type questions. And like I said, critical thinking and based on case studies. So just so everybody is clear on why an exam would take a little bit longer than typical weeks where you have quizzes and assignments.
Mm-hmm. And I love in our exams, we usually have a question with some kind of avatar. So you'll have this client case study and it'll be described what the client's struggling with, their age, their gender, all that. And then you have to give recommendations for that specific person, maybe even develop a meal plan. So it starts giving you like get the wheels turning of how would I work with a client like this? So that the exams are really fun to do, even though they're a little bit time consuming, but it teaches you a lot through the process of rating the exams.
Yep, absolutely. And your instructors, no matter what course format you do have an instructor that's assigned to you in your course that you're in. They're there to answer your questions, but they're also there to grade your exams and they provide a lot of feedback on your exams. So not only are they learning material as you're taking it, but it's learning material after you're done as well. So if there was something you missed or maybe even something you could have expanded on, they're going to be making those comments and it's material you can look back at in courses to come.
Mm-hmm. And even if you're an independent start online student, so you don't have any weekly webinars, you don't have any live access to some kind of coursework, you always have access to your instructor. So no matter what, you can email them, you can schedule office hours. They're there, a real person grading your exams, giving you feedback. So just know you'll never feel totally alone. You'll always have that support system.
Absolutely. So maybe let's jump into the nitty gritty and talk about tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to explain how that works, Dinah?
Mm-hmm. So we're a pay-as-you-go program, which is really nice that there's no down payments, deposits, nothing like that. You're only paying for the course that you're actually enrolled in. So if you're taking one course, you pay for that one course, and then when you're done with that one, you sign up for your next course, and then you pay for that next course. So you're kind of just chipping away at the tuition little by little. Each course can also be broken into payment plans. So you can either pay the full course fee, which is $950 or less, depending on the course, or you could break it into up to 4 payment plans. So upon registration, you get to choose if you want to pay about every 2 weeks or so. And just as long as your first payment is done before the first day of class and the last one is done before the last day of class, you're good to go to set up a payment plan, especially if you're like planning around paychecks or something like that. Payment plans make it really convenient to get your tuition accessible.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
think that covers it. All of our frequently asked questions that we get on the daily basis here in the admissions team. Again, my name is Amber Williams, and this is Dinah. We are both on the admissions team, and we're here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Mountain Time. So please reach out to us if you do have any questions. We're very friendly, and we love answering your questions for you. So be sure to reach out, and hopefully we'll see you as a student very soon.
Yeah. And again, we are practicing nutrition therapists. So if there's any specific questions you want to know about what it's like to practice, what it was like going through the program as a student, we love to answer those questions. So hopefully talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.